Hey, you guys.
Hello.
Welcome to Fireside Chat with the Johnstons. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Justin.
And we're excited to have you guys on here tonight. Sorry about last night. I was exhausted. I had to be up at 3:50 yesterday morning to take my daughter to the airport. Kansas City has a new airport, and so we didn't know how long. Like, we used to be able to arrive 30 minutes before and just watch her. Like, I could watch her go through security and see her on the other side in the window and be like,
Literally
hey.
at the gate sitting there, and they could be like, hey.
Usually TSA agents were waiting on us to get our driver's license and stuff out because there was never a line for security. And now there's still not really a big one, but I don't know. It's with it being new. My hair's a little wild right now. With it being new, we just wanted to make sure she got there early, and I was dead yesterday by 9 o'clock. So
I was ready to go.
He was ready to go, and I was like, I'm so tired.
I'm not doing this. So.
I tried to nap, but I am not a napper. It was too bright in the bedroom, and I just could not nap, no matter how hard I tried.
All right. So we've got Curtis watching. We got Elizabeth Santiago.
Hello.
La Portia. What's happening? Melissa Countermine.
Hello.
Ashley Miller just said the cheer hangover is real.
Are you on a cheer hangover?
Yeah, that is for real.
I know. I felt really well rested after the weekend because we did not have any competitions. We were done until All-Star Worlds, and I felt like it was going to be really good and relaxing. But then Monday morning, the 3:45 made me feel like the whole weekend was not relaxing, but it was.
Oh yeah.
What did you do this weekend? You built a mantle.
Yeah,
He finished a project.
I finished a project. That's very rare.
There's 7 other projects unfinished.
I'm an 80-20 person.
One is finished.
I finish 80% of a project and I leave 20% left undone on purpose.
Do you remember that time I finished the other 20% and you were so annoyed by it that you went back and fixed it? Yeah. That's how I got him to finish 100% of the
Danielle's figured out how to get me to finish stuff. She tries and she just grabs a hammer and goes, "Where do I start hammering? Do I hit here? Do you want me to put these holes right here?"
That's right.
I'm like, okay, all right.
I mudded and sanded and painted a wall while he was at a drill weekend once, and he was not crazy about my work.
We have Ashley Miller said, "I'm taking a note for that." We have Sarah out there watching. Hello. I think I just sent Sarah some info the other day, or today actually. Cool. Curtis.
Say it, Justin. How
diddly do dudaskas?
He's making it harder.
Do you think car mufflers get tired of absorbing all the fumes from the engine? One might say they're exhausted.
Oh, there's Curtis. He's gonna be the future dad of all dads when he has a kid one day because.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was a good dad joke right there. Real good one.
It's true.
Tracy, hello.
Hello.
All right. We got quite a few.
Awesome.
And Sarah said, yes, you did. Yes.
So just a heads up, guys, we are streaming in both groups. We are in the cheer and gymnastics gym owners group as well. So for our owners, as well as the all-star cheer coaches and gym owners group. So I wanted to just let you guys know that before we do some comments here. First of all, I do just, while we're kind of getting those final people to hop on, I do want you to know the Next Gen Conference is exploding right now with registrations, and we want you guys to be on that list because it is going to be so good. It is in Dallas, June 23rd through 25th. Of course, we'll be there, but also we have Dan Cotton, Shelly Shepard, Rihanna Luck will now be there. Good thing, because I accidentally posted she'd be there, and then she's like,
yes, guys, she wasn't planning on being there. And then she was like, Danielle.
Whoops.
She goes, actually, I can make it, though.
Glad she figured it out. We'll have a lot of our Next Gen staff there. We will also have Jason Larkins from American Cheer and the Let's Talk Cheer podcast.
Yep.
Adam Forte, who is one of my favorites. He'll be here Sunday for our gym to do some upgrades with Jess for All-Star Worlds.
Forte Solutions is their business,
Yep, and then Romello Suna from World Cup. So, guys, such good speakers, great content. I'm super excited. I talked to Shelly the other day and said, can I please teach an active campaign class for our Academy clients, teach people how to do some really good email marketing stuff, because it just is, as they would say, it's fire for me.
And on top of that, we will probably have the most sponsors that we've had.
And our sponsors are actually good.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, anybody that wants to
stop by my booth and register for free.
Or Anybody that wants
actually,
to
I would
come
like
to a
Yeti.
conference and hang out and show people your stuff. No, we actually like vet these people. So
Yes.
yeah, these are not like random randos that are showing up.
I'm gonna be real honest, guys.
Yeah.
I dealt with a vendor last week that I was less than impressed with. I was so frustrated by the end. I called Shelly. I said, I'm just going to be real honest. If this person ever tries to get a sponsorship, I'm kind of a no on it. And she goes, actually, I am too. And she goes, yep, if that ever comes through as somebody who's interested in sponsorship, we'll just be real honest and let them know that won't be an option because we want to stand behind any person who is sponsoring our conference.
Yep.
So you will not find people who are doing a bad job at our conferences. Or else they won't be sponsors very long.
So we don't have the most sponsors you've probably ever seen at a conference, but we've got a lot. And the ones that are there are phenomenal. These people like take pride in what they do. And so they have to excel.
Yes.
Or we're just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And they have to add value, right?
Yeah.
Like we did some sponsor roundtables in Vegas, and on the end of conference surveys, those were some of the best sessions because people said they really learned a lot, like sitting down and chatting with some of the sponsors. I know I sat in the Jackrabbit one for a while and they talked about some of their upcoming features, which I was like, oh, please put me on the beta testing list. So like we'll be beta testing their childcare portals coming through and some of that. I sat in on who was it? Matt Becker, I think, had one.
Oh, yeah. Jim Lawyers. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had one, so you didn't really get to hear a whole bunch
not.
of them. But yeah, it was really cool, you guys, to like hear our sponsors, but they weren't selling the products as much as they were like, hey, if you use this product, this is how we can help you because we've been sitting at this conference learning about what you guys need to know, and now here's how we can help you get better.
And one cool thing is we've had a lot of sponsors that really want to be at our conference because we teach people how to take care of their money, make more money, do a better job in their business, and that's a hard thing to find in our industry. There's a lot of gyms out there that are having tough times and just are not good at all things. And that's what we try to help people do in their gyms is be good at all the things, because if you can do that,
or at least the things you choose to offer in your gym. If you're not good at it, don't do it. Right.
Find somebody that's good at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that was Fireside Chat for the night. I'm kidding. Okay, guys. So we're going to get into, by the way, we always do good news. If you guys have good news, make sure that you post it in the comments. Do you have good news?
Yeah, my good news. It was warm today. It's been so cold around here for so long that we've had some warm weather and no rain. So the ground is starting to, I don't know. I feel so terrible because we have 2 horses. And they walk around out there in the mud, and it's just like, oh. So now it's been warmer, less rain, and they're actually walking around, and they can, like, I don't know. It seems like they're happy now.
Like we love our horses more now?
I can literally tell that they're happier, so I don't know. It just makes me, it's cool, because I have to go out and feed them, twice a day, and it's like, I don't know. That's my good news. I don't know. That's a sad one. Go ahead.
that's such like a backhanded good news.
It is.
Our horses feel like we hate them, and now today they felt like
they were actually happier. They were
so
a little
much.
perky. I don't know. It was nice.
Okay, well, if I had to say some good news, I would just say our business meetings today. So we're really strict on them lasting 1 hour, but to be honest, there were so many good things and good ideas that just were popping up, both in our owners meeting and then our managers meeting, that it was like, man, I think we probably walked away from both meetings with at least 20 different to-dos. So, by the end, I was like, Melanie, not all of those are due next week. Like, we've got to spread those out because there's so many. But, like, really good things. We're putting a coffee shop in the gym. It's going in, and I'm hoping for an open date August 1st.
August, yep.
And it'll be, like, full service with, like, some food options and stuff like that. We got our childcare license now, so we officially are a licensed childcare facility.
Official. We got the
for before and after school program and summer camp, except now we're going to turn around and ask for more kids, which means we got to go through part of the process again. But anyway, all just really good things, and it felt like our gym, like I need 3 more of me so that I can keep going on these. We're also hosting 3 tumbling competitions this year, and I felt like we just did really well there. So with lots of good stuff.
Oh yeah.
You have some comments.
Oh, my bad.
I'm assuming that's Elizabeth is not on bed rest yet. Girl's pregnant with twins, and I saw her about 2 weeks ago at a competition. You look great though. Like, you don't look like you should be on bed rest at all. You look like you have energy still.
Man, we have a bunch here. April Higgins is watching. Hello, April.
Hello.
Haley Popple
Hello.
is watching. Jackie Lindham is watching.
Hello.
And Ashley says, in South Dakota, we just broke a record, 110 straight days of over an inch of snow on the ground. So disrespectful. Oh, man. I don't know about that.
South Dakota sounds like a great place this time of year. Sorry, Ashley.
Yeah, boy, that sounds awesome. April, we are ending our second month with a revenue increase of better than 100% from 2022.
So she's up over 100%. Like on top of where it's technically 200% because like where she was last year, she already exceeded that by over 100%. So she's at 200% of her revenue. You are not wrong in how you said that, April. It's just the way he read it was like,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I love that. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
So guys, we are going to get into tonight talking about how to end the season on a high note. I've talked to quite a few Academy clients lately who are like, man, the parents in my gym are going crazy. Like, if it has to do with end of season events and bids, and maybe your team didn't get a bid this season, or maybe your team got a bid and you had not planned on it, and now it's like becoming a real nightmare for you.
Parents are mad, and
yeah, maybe you are like me a few years ago, where like half my senior team was like, yeah, we're not coming back, and you know, it's not because like they hated cheer. In fact, half of them work for us now because they're in college, but they just were like, we want to have fun our senior year and don't want a whole bunch to tie us down, and so we're not going to cheer. And so I've had those seasons last year. So not this season, obviously, but the season before, we found out around this time our all-star director was leaving. So we've had those seasons that really kind of feel like a downer at the end of the season. And I know some of you guys might be dealing with that right now too. So we're going to talk about how to end your season on a high note.
As a matter of fact, we found out our director was going to leave when we were like, hey, would you like to get some more training?
Do you want to come to Dream Camp with me and you can train?
Like,
she's like, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm not going to be here next season. And we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, guys.
It happens, though. It does. These are the trials of business. And, like, how do you bounce back from it?
So, here's the other hard part. There's probably gyms near you that are either opening or closing this time of year, right? I found out there's a gym in our town that's closing. There's another one an hour away that's opening. Like, this is what we hear about. How many people have you talked to lately that are opening a gym in the next couple months?
Oh, it's I don't know, 5.
I mean, I think you talked to 13 people last week, and 5 of them.
Yeah, well, I was just saying this week I've talked to 5 of them.
Oh.
So yeah, and then including last week, yeah. But
So,
you said in the last week. You did say in the last week.
I guess I did.
Yeah.
I was thinking calendar week,
Yeah.
but whatever. So, you know, you might be the gym owner that's been around a while, and you're like, oh gosh, not another, you know, gym opening in my town. Like, in the 12 years that we've been around, we've had 4 gyms open and close in our town. And so we've been there. Another gym's opening again. Another gym is closing again. Like, neither of those feel good. You kind of end the season like, ugh, it doesn't feel great, right? So we're going to talk about how to end the season on a high note. Hopefully by now you guys are not those gyms that are closing. Hopefully we have some that are opening in here, but you shouldn't, if you're in this group or you're part of the academy, you are definitely not one of those gyms that is closing. Okay. Number 1, stop focusing on those who are negative or those who are not returning. Start focusing on the people who are. So I saw a post not too long ago.
I might have to explain that one because it sounds like start focusing on the ones who are.
I am actually explaining it right now.
Okay, my bad.
I
jumped down. Okay.
You're not a good listener.
Well, it's just you though. I listen to other people. I don't know why.
Literally, Angie was saying something in a business meeting today, and you like 2 seconds later like asked the question, and I was like, Justin, that's literally what Angie and I are just talking about. I don't know what it is. I
think it's a guy thing though. But like after you've been married so many years, like it tunes out. Like I almost don't hear your voice anymore.
If anybody's interested in business coaching, Justin is free because he doesn't listen. Cheapest coaching you'll ever get.
It's true, though. I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm going to try to focus on you. Go ahead.
Okay. So start focusing on the people who are returning.
Yes.
I'm not telling you to ignore or to be rude to those who are not returning, but focus on those who are. Like if you're focused right now on all the people who are not returning and you're thinking like, I don't even think I'm gonna have a senior team. I don't know if I'm gonna have a level 4 next year. I don't know about this. This person hasn't re-registered yet. Like you're probably gonna get kind of down thinking about all of those things. Start thinking about all those novice and prep kids that are like, this was an awesome season. We can't wait to come back.
This time of the year is kind of stressful a little bit too, because you're like, you want to grow. And so you'd love to see all the numbers, like everybody just re-sign up right away, and they're just all going to put their new application in and be like, hey, I'm ready. Here's the new packet. We're signed up. You know, it's awesome to feel that way. But at the same time, it's not reality. And we have a lot of procrastinators out there. So it's always last minute that they're putting their stuff in. So don't feel like you're an island out there when that happens, because it happens to us every year. And it still stresses her out to a point, because you want to see, like, you have kids out there that you want to see come back, and it's, I don't know, sometimes it's a gamble every year sometimes. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that is part of the reason our business meeting lasted so long, because I went, so we take our rosters, like we print out our rosters and we highlight every kid who's re-registered, so that I like the visual of like how many kids we have, you know, on this team. On a team of 21, I have 3 that haven't signed back up yet. 2 have decided they're not returning. 1, mom is just kind of procrastinating. Like we like to look at it that way. And when you're looking at your retention, that's a good thing to look at also. Yep. So yeah, like stop focusing on the people who aren't returning and just be excited for the people who are. That one brand new kid should make you so excited that the senior kid who's like, I got to go get a job next year, I can't return, or I just want to like hang out and have a fun senior year, should not be stressing you out. Be grateful for the time that they were with you.
And these are real-time statements too. I just want to have my own. I just want to have a senior year and chill. I just want to chill.
We've got 1 or 2 of those who are not returning next season for that. Here's the thing though. Look at Michaela. She didn't cheer her senior year. She works for us. Look at Allie. She went up to KC Cheer. She was like, guys, I think I want to try out as a flyer up at KC Cheer and try and make my way onto a Worlds team. We don't have one of those. Yep. So Allie headed up there and cheered there her last couple of years of high school. She now works for us and is actually coaching a team now that she's, you know, in college. Yep. There's several, like Sammy cheered at a different gym. She left us, went to a gym up in Kansas City, and she's in college now and she's coaching, you know, at our gym.
She's back.
Like these are the kids who you felt like you should feel bad because they're leaving or they're not going to cheer with you next year. And now you're like, hey, cool. You know, this is, your relationship with them is not over unless you choose for it to be over. And don't ever close that door.
And don't burn that bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caitlin Hill is watching.
Hi,
and then
Caitlin.
We have Ashley Miller said, what's the best way to handle the people who are on the fence at the end of the season? I've had a few moms make the comment about next year being unknown, and I'm a little unsure on how to handle it at the moment.
Yeah, so Ashley set up a time to spend a few minutes and chat with them. Like, hey, do you have a couple minutes? I would love to just talk to you a little bit more about what you guys might be looking for out of something for next season. Most likely what's happening is their kids aren't sure if they want to cheer again for one reason or another. So I was coaching on Wednesday night. I was coaching our senior 2 team. I never coached by myself. I had another coach there with me. I was like, Mel, I see 2 parents that have not signed up yet, their kids for this next season. I don't know that they're signing their kids up. I've heard rumors they're not coming back. I'm going to peel off and just go chat with them for a few minutes. One of them said, hey, actually, she's kind of talking about it now. I think if you went and talked to her, maybe she would. The other one just didn't, you know, I don't know. They were like on the fence. And so I spent some time, just like quality time, saying, what did they not like about this season? What did they like? Let's talk about what that can look like for next season. So, I mean,
it's a little bit, it's more than being passive in this situation where you're just kind of waiting for people to sign up. It's being a little bit more aggressive and just getting out there and saying, hey, this is what we're doing next season. Here's some things that we're
sell or
looking
be
at
sold.
Doing. Yeah.
You know, Here's the other thing. I think sometimes parents think like she may not move up with her friends, so maybe we should just do a year of tumbling and she can like catch up and stuff like that. They need to be educated, like severely educated, that this is a bad plan, because both of the moms that I was talking to had planned to stay in tumbling so that their kids could one day come back to cheer. They
and
just
stay at the same or a better level
with their friends. Like, it's not happening. I have never watched a kid take a year off and maintain that level with their friends. So, and I think that kind of experience is helpful. As far as I see, like I struggle with confrontation, just sell them on it. Tell them like, I just love your kids and I would love to see them back. What are some of the reservations that you have? And be honest. Like if they're like, she wants to play 3 other sports, like, okay, I get it. That may not work for next year. What about a half? That is actually what I suggested to this elite kid. I'm like, what about a half year team? You know, she can play, I can't remember, basketball. She can play basketball and then come back in January for a half year team. What do you think? And the mom was like, oh, I just think she's going to regret it. And I'm like, well, talk to her about that.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, they sign back up for an elite team. So
I think it's engaging it and starting the conversation. That's the hardest part about it. But once you do, it kind of gives you a leeway to start maneuvering with them a little bit. So
yeah, for sure. So next up, be careful. Don't let these people give you a negative mindset. Sometimes we feel like everybody's upset, everybody's unhappy. And the reality, when I have an academy member say, like, I feel like my whole program is upset and they're all leaving next year, I'm like, okay, tell me who is upset and who is leaving. And usually they list off 2 or 3 people. And I'm like, so 2 or 3 are not your whole program. So fact versus feeling here. Don't let 1 or 2 impact the whole bunch.
Caitlin Hill says, my all-star program is small, and I'm going to do what I did year before last and planned end-of-season one-on-one meetings, time slots.
Yeah, great.
Actually,
we did that too.
We've done that before as well. Yeah.
Yep, we did that too. The 2 people who weren't certain if they were going to come back had not done them because they thought they weren't going to come back.
Now, we don't suggest this with every person that is leaving. There are certain people that we don't want to come back that have caused problems all season. You want to be honest with that, Danielle. That is the 100% true. There are some moms out there.
A few years ago, I had a mom. Luckily, it wasn't so terrible that we could kind of push off until the end of the season. Like she never really outwardly violated major issues. She caused more problems for me than she did for other parents. But we had decided like this is just not worth it to have her back because this is like the 4th year in a row we've had this issue. And so I was like, this is kind of great. She hasn't re-registered. And so I get a call from the front desk and they're like, hey, she just opted in to get the packet and pretty sure she's on the site right now filling it all out. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we let her register and then I actually called her in. I think I sent her a message within seconds probably of receiving the registration that said, hey, I have this, but I'm going to put it in my pending file. We need to have a meeting before that happens. I didn't tell her over the message, but we were not accepting her, registration for the year. So yeah. You
got to know your program and who fits your tribe. If they're not going to fit, honestly, it's more hassle than it's worth when it comes to that. You need to build that core group.
Yep. I've only got one that I'm like, guys, has she opted in yet? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay. It's not terrible. It's just a conversation I'll have and we'll have to make a decision if that will work for us.
But that's the flip side of the coin. The majority is you need to be out there hustling. You need to hustle a little bit.
And if you don't have an opt-in to get your packet, get an opt-in so that you see who is actually paying attention to your packet and who's probably going to re-register. The people who are negative are stealing your focus from what it should be on. It needs to be on the present and the future. Quit worrying about the past and the issues that they've had all season that now they want to bring up.
Oh yeah.
Deal with those, do the best you can. But you need to be focused on improving for next season. The other bad thing about people like this is they make you forget customer feedback is actually a great thing, but you kind of forget about that when you have, that negativity happening. Like some of the most negative people have become our most impactful people to make changes in our program, but usually it's after they leave. So
we got a question. Curtis said, what would your advice be to the small programs that can't afford to lose even someone who doesn't fit their gym?
I love when Curtis asks this because he knows the answer, but he knows that you guys need to hear this.
Yes.
Guys, everyone can afford to lose someone that doesn't need to be in their gym because when you, what do they call it? Like pruning the tree.
Yes.
When you prune the tree, you're creating more opportunities for more branches to grow. And sometimes you need to prune the tree so that other people have that opportunity to come in the gym and fill those spots that you need.
And
right?
actually, not. I mean, if you're going to go with the tree thing, if you don't prune a tree,
I don't know
actually,
anything about gardening.
it can
It
actually
was a
stunt.
guess.
It'll stunt the growth, and
Yeah.
so in this case, sometimes it decays and it kills other branches that are around it. Otherwise, that person can take people away from your gym because they don't want to be there in that what was it, hostile or
I don't do
environment.
gardening.
No, I'm just thinking of the environments.
You
they call
actually
it,
won't
but,
let me have a garden this year. I've asked.
Yeah,
I
but
kill
that
it all.
drama-filled environment, a lot of
Right.
people just don't want to deal with that, and it becomes they just won't come back. They also won't say anything. They'll just be like, yeah, we don't want to come back.
There have been seasons that I'm very, like, I had been worried about where our cheer parents were sitting because they were talking so much crap. Like, this is a few years ago when that one parent was there. They were talking so much crap that I'm like, oh my gosh, great. Now all of our preschool parents were never going to have tinies because they don't want to be part of the program because these parents are so negative. And then, at one point I was like, great, now they're sitting next to our beginner tumblers. Like, I'll never get level ones again because of this.
There goes all of our tumblers.
But what happens when you take away some of that negativity? The program grows. So yeah, I love that Curtis asked that because he knows that.
So pick the weeds out of your garden, folks.
Yeah.
Pick those weeds out.
Okay, so number one was stop focusing on the negativity, the people who are not returning. If you have coaches, that's the same. Be grateful for what they did for you during those years and don't focus on the fact that they're not returning. Focus on what's next. Number two, start focusing on the systems and processes that need to be created for future seasons.
That's a good one.
How are you going to improve? What is one thing, and you guys, I want you to post it in the comments, what is one thing you are doing next year to improve your season? A decision you're making, a system you're starting. I know those of you in the academy watched me ask this morning, like, who has a big and a little program, and does anybody have a system?
But one way to find out about some of these things is coffee conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have those conversations with your parents. Find out what they want.
And you want to talk about confrontation. Well, I mean, it's not really confrontational.
No,
You're not building it that way. It feels that way, though. Like if you go in and say, hey, how have you liked the season?
That's why I don't ask that question.
Okay. I'm just saying, if you ask a question like that, it could be a little bit offensive to you. So.
Yeah. I mean, you should ask more pointed questions because parents will be like, it was good, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have another question here. Tracy, hello. Kara Sepperon's watching.
Hello.
Tracy Cottingham said, starting choreo and uniform order much earlier.
Yes, very good.
That's smart. Ashley said, starting choreo sooner. Also, setting our teams earlier in the season.
So I'll be honest, guys. If you're going to set your choreography sooner, make sure that you have benchmarks in place between choreography and the first competition. Because we've done choreography in mid-July, we've done it in mid-August before, and to be very honest, there's no difference when you do it unless you have benchmarks in place, such as we need to be hitting all of our stunts by this date, we need to be hitting our pyramid by this date, we should have first half of the routine by this date, etc. So set those benchmarks. If you're part of the academy, you can go over to if you're in our Accelerate or Elevate program, you can go over to the All-Star Academy, it's on the Ultimate Competition Guide. Pull that, and it has our list of benchmarks. So like April, if that's something you were interested in, go over there, the list of benchmarks and Rainbow Weeks.
Kara says hi.
Hello.
And Stephanie said, getting feedback from parents about what they dislike this season. First year micro gym.
Perfect.
See, there's a lot of brand new gyms out there.
Yeah,
which is exciting.
It.
It's very exciting.
Guys, it's so good for our sport. I'm so glad there's some new gyms out there because it means our sport is going to grow.
It is. Well, and people are feeling comfortable enough to start a new business like that and jump out there. So that's fantastic. Elizabeth Santiago says, Mallory and I are implementing a coach's binder and looking at a different coaching setup. We are also systemizing a lot more of the All-Star program. I am so thankful for her help.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, every time I ask Elizabeth, do you guys have this system? Like on our call, she's like, yep, got it. Or, yep, we're working on it. So I love that. Guys, I'm going to show you one thing I am working on. This
is super cool.
It is cool. I can't take full credit for this. Technically, it is Rihanna's athlete handbook that I have the template for and I've been working on. But you know what? She took credit for my loyalty rewards program last week. So it's mine. It was my idea, this athlete handbook. I designed all of it.
But this is, folks, the reason why you hang out with people that are going in the same direction as you, smart people, because this is the kind of stuff you run into. But check this out.
Okay, here we go. Hopefully I get this. Ugh, the share never works great on the first try. Hopefully that's better.
I think
okay.
It's sharing.
Yeah. Okay, so
I can see your whole screen though. That's cool.
No.
Okay.
I know, it's kind of annoying. I don't know why it does that.
So what is an athlete's handbook and why the heck is it cool?
So we're military theme again next year. I think forever we're going to do it now. Did I tell you that?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we just decided we love military and we're 10 minutes from a base.
You never tell me anything.
I know. Well, you wouldn't listen if I did. So our athlete handbook is going to be a book that is printed and stop.
I wasn't ready for that.
It's printed and given to each of our athletes. Rihanna has hers separated between tiny, mini, and youth and above. I think I'm probably going to do that as well.
You talk really fast. That was a lot. I'm trying to listen as good as I can.
Are you kidding me?
That was really fast talking.
Guys, keep up.
Oh my goodness.
Wake up, keep up. You're good.
All right.
Okay, so there is the QR code to our members area, gym closers practice schedule. I haven't edited that page yet, so this is like a total work in progress right now. Core values, so we can refer back to them if at any point an athlete, parent, or staff does not have feedback that aligns with our core values or
does
behavior.
not display. Yeah.
We can put that out there. We've got our policies and procedures. None of this was in my essentially my tryout packet because it doesn't matter, right? They just need to know the prices and the basic expectation of practices. This is where I'm talking about if you have fever, vomiting, undiagnosed rash, or diagnosed strep flu or COVID, you need to stay home.
So one of the things that we noticed was our tryout packet was becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And so we kind of were like, what is the difference? And that's when we found out that Rihanna has stripped that down to just the bare essentials that a parent needs to know. And then the rest of it goes into this packet.
She told me my tryout packet was too long. I was like, Rihanna, your athlete handbook is too long. Okay. We had a parent give us feedback. Her daughter got injured and she's like, it would have been really nice to know what is the policy and how do I know, like if it's a muscle strain, what the expectation for practice is versus continuous pain. We all get those kids who have aches and pains. My kid has tendinitis, so I'm familiar with that. Versus a short-term injury that's less than 8 weeks. Maybe they sprain their ankle and they need some modifications for a few weeks. Versus a long-term injury that may have a greater than 8-week recovery time. So we have this in here so that they know, hey, it is permanent re-choreography if they're out more than 8 weeks and this injury happens on or after December. This parent said, man, that would have been really great to know. And by the way, she got released by a doctor a week before competition. She thought she was coming back into the routine and the parent was great about it, but she's like, I wish I had known that. I could have prepared her better for the fact that she was not coming back in even though she was cleared.
So we got Kalina Johnson was watching.
Hello.
And we had a comment real quick. Sarah says, lots of improvements here, more open communication between parents and athletes.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome.
And then Allie Loomis is watching.
Perfect.
Hello.
So then here we have here's our competitions. Here's what to expect 2 weeks out, 1 week prior to the event, what we put out. Yep. In our schedule, it has things like arrival time. I'm very specific. What does that mean? What happens when you arrive? You should be arriving and, ready to go. Gather time, warm up time, what to expect during the performance, the award session, and then kind of your competition checklist. I know that's a lot of words, so it's kind of athlete and family handbook in the first section. Yep. But here's your checklist for this. Also, cheer mom tip. This is how I do it with my cheer bag and my, at one point I had literally 7 uniforms because we had 3 kids cheering in the same season. Hip hop, cheer, multiple teams, all that stuff.
Curtis, and that's exactly it. Curtis said this is great because it allows your all-star pack to be less of a barrier to new and returning. It's not so long, big, and hairy and scary.
Yes.
Well, he didn't put hairy in there. But it's true though.
Yes.
Our packet was getting like I need 3 days to read through this.
I know.
And I need my lawyer to look at it because it's so, there's so much in it. But so we slimmed it down. And we put a lot of that stuff right in this.
So this is my page. I don't love the layout on this yet, but it is what it is right now while I'm designing still. But the practices as far as, you know, how to notify us if you're going to be missing a practice, hair up. I'm really picky about that. Nails, jewelry, any jackets or anything. We have a lot of kids that like to warm up in their sweatshirts, and I don't mind that. But then as soon as we are ready to stunt, they need to come off. The difference between dynamic stretching, I had parents, guys, this is an education. I had parents this year say, I wish we would work on jumps more. You know, my kid who's not in the jumps routine doesn't get to work on jumps. And I really need them to know our entire warm-up routine was built off of Cheer Conditioning Academy. That is, the warm-up itself is designed to help you improve jumps and basing technique. And so it is a warm-up with dynamic stretching, but it is 100% designed to improve your jumps. And then, like I said, basing technique. So they didn't understand.
And they did it with parents?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That was a workout. Is
Kicks,
that the one with the leg where you do it halfway, and then you're all the way up?
Your kicks were so good, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was wore out.
They weren't even 90 degrees, guys. Not even 90 degrees.
Michael's watching.
Hello.
We got Morgan out there. Hello.
Yes, hello.
And April just said, will this be available to the Academy members at some point in the future?
Yes, April, for sure.
Yeah.
Rihanna's and mine were super different. So I think that I'm using hers as kind of an outline,
template,
but mine are quite different. And so I think that once we do that, we'll have some options too.
Yep.
So safe stretching at home. We get a lot of kids who are sitting there doing nothing, and then they just decide to sit in the splits, and they're like, but I'm not getting more flexible. And so, you know, it's designed to fix that. We go in here and talk about tumbling. This is literally my favorite thing in the entire thing, because I've showed this to parents before and they're like, oh, tumbling. So it's not just going to continuously get better at all times, right?
Yeah. What?
We had a question if you can purchase the template from Brandy. Brandy, there is one version of it in there right now that is available for purchase. I've made a lot of edits to it on mine. And so mine will be ready in the next 2 weeks. You can definitely purchase Rihanna's, which I think was wonderful. Or in about 2 weeks, there will be 2 different versions of it in there.
Tina Norton says, I need this in my life.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's actually, guys, and this is the kind of stuff that you need to continually be improving. Yeah. Like, a barrier, we always look for barriers to our clients, like, or your customers. And we noticed that our packet was continually being a barrier because it just got longer and longer. You know, you were making up rules in there based on
one kid
that happened or one mom. You're like, oh, we need to put that in there. That's the Tina. That's the Karen rule. We need to put that in there. And it's like, after a while, we were like, these are like, if I read this, I get depressed reading this packet, because after a while it was like depressing.
That
like,
was actually Justin's.
Don't do this. Don't do that. I like what?
It was like our 3rd year in business, and I asked Justin to proof the packet for me, and he's like, I feel depressed right now. You cannot put this packet out. And I was like, but that one is because of that kid that got left here for 30 minutes after practice every week. That one is because this mom said we shouldn't talk about nutrition. This is because this one, like. So
go reread your packet and look at it. I mean, I know a lot of people already have them out, but if you get depressed after reading it, it's wrong. Right. It should not be depressing. It should be exciting. People want to. It's a sell. You're trying to sell them on something. It's not like, hey, this car may work for 5 years. It has It's got a lot of warnings on the engine that will pop up after 2 or 3 years. You know, after a while, you're like, no, I don't want this car.
Dan did a podcast on it, and it was fantastic. So, like, this is not, my policies are not in my sales packet, my tryout packet. My policies and stuff are built into this. The policy that, you know, you can't wear earrings to practice does not need to be in the sales packet. 1, it's common sense, but 2, even if it were not common sense, and which I still think it needs to be put out there, it doesn't need to be put out for someone to say, yes, I want to cheer, or no, I don't. Right? And so I've actually tried to engineer some of this out. So that's fine. Cheer is a 12-month sport. When can you get your ears pierced? So if you were to go back in my sheet, like a few pages back, it said, this is when we recommend getting your ears pierced, because we can, you know, we have a couple weeks off at this time. Because you can't tell a kid, no, you can never get your ears pierced as long as you cheer. Right? So yeah, I've got the skills. I've got tumbling is not the only skill you need. Here are the questions you should be asking yourself when you're looking at not toe touches, jumps, stunting, stuff like that. Because the point was that progression is not based solely on tumbling.
Kara said, this is a great idea. My packet is long.
Yes.
Oh,
so
we're
guys,
at the same boat.
The parts that I have not edited yet, and so these are all like Premier Academy things. So if you were to buy the packet, the template that's out there today, totally perfect. I love how Rihanna did hers too. I just wanted to brand mine because my logo is not like cool like
food
that.
Guide. Obviously, you haven't made it to that part
just
yet.
Just retitled to put American because I'm literally going to use that graphic, to be honest. But Rihanna has all kinds of great stuff in here. I'm just going to modify it to make sense for what makes sense for my gym. The reality is we put out information as well, and it needs to make sense. That said, I'm going to steal all of this stuff, and then check this out. She's got her journal, the drawing journal, draw a picture of yourself. This is where her tiny mini makes sense versus youth and junior and senior. So this is what they take the athlete handbook, they bring it to practice, and they use this at every practice as part of their 5 minutes of journaling at the end. I can tell you guys, she also has one, hold on. This was super cute. They put their core values on here as like trace the letters, for little kids. This was super.
Man, she's gone preschool on this.
I know. Is this adorable or what?
Yeah, that is.
They've got some pictures of stuff like that kids can color, and then design your own cheer uniform, which I'm gonna try and make mine long sleeve, but I gotta figure out how to do it. I got a friend who I think can do some of this. But anyway, guys, is this adorable or what? And so I won't keep going because that's the stuff I haven't edited yet. But then you have the older kids who have journal options in there. And in the older one, and if you guys think like, when would I ever have time to do journaling during practice? My youth kids, it's like their favorite part of the whole practice, which maybe makes it sound like I'm not a very good coach.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a good one.
But they love it.
Yeah.
It's like an incentive for them because I have them get their journals and we spend the last 5 minutes of practice and I'm like, okay, everybody go get your journal. They'll get it. And then I'll be like, okay, here's the question you need to answer. And if you want to share it for the last 60 seconds, of the practice, you can, but you don't have to. And so some weeks, I'm like, hey, okay, so you wrote on this. What do you, does anybody want to share? And like one of my youth kids, Jacob, goes, yeah, I want to share. I drew this picture of this alien riding on a UFO and it looks like pizza. And then there's a ladder for me to climb up it. And I'm like, okay. But they like love it. So whatever. So the journal prompts, they're actually in the academy. We have one of the All-Star Academy packets has, I think, 52 weeks of journaling prompts. Usually they're just off the top of my head, but that is something that's included in the academy.
We had Caitlin just said, yes, I love that. Reminds me of the coloring book we made for the kids to use at the comps this year.
Yes.
Yeah,
love
really
it.
Cool.
So that's how I am choosing to. Number 2 was start focusing on systems and processes that need to be improved. Mine was my tangible communication and taking things out of the packet, putting them into tangible things that the kids can engage with a little bit better and the parents can engage with.
And making that packet more positive?
Yeah, and I think part of it's going to be like for the parents, for the athletes, and they'll just tab over to the one that's for the kids and they'll know like I need to do this at practice.
Yep.
So that was number 2 for really like ending the season well. I think people are going to go nuts about this little handbook.
They will.
Yeah.
It's
and we'll give them out on welcome nights.
Yeah.
So number 3, begin showing gratitude to those who helped you throughout the season. So
I love this one.
Really? Because when I read it to you, you're like,
no,
oh yeah?
It's good.
How are you going to do that?
Well, once you explained it to me. But no, it's you're being a positive light. And when you kind of had that negative feel all around you, and now you're actually pointing out people that have done really well or done good things for the season, that parent that's helped out, she's been taking all the pictures and video and showing it to everybody or like giving it to everybody, just stuff like that. Just the gratitude. Yeah.
Yes. So acknowledge behavior from the good parents. So guys, if you have those negative parents in your program right now, we're not ignoring them, but we are not putting our mental focus on them right now. Instead, put your focus on the people who have been doing great things. Publicly acknowledge the things they're doing that are helping you and your program so that you get better behavior. What do they say when
Reverse psychology. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like child psychology, right?
Yeah.
If you have kids on your team, you know what happens for me when I tell my kids on Youth 2, get clean? the best thing I can do is not, Jacob, you're not clean. Metzley, you're not clean. That's not the best thing I can do. The best thing I can do is, Jacob, thank you. You look great right now. Metzley, thank you for being clean. I love your smile. Yeah. That gets every one of my kids doing exactly what they should be doing because they all want that gratitude and acknowledgement.
I guess it's not reverse. It's child psychology. You're literally pointing out like, everyone around.
Yes.
You've been doing good.
And you're not doing it in a negative way. No. Nobody wants to hear you be negative the whole time. So as a coach, you find the positive, and then everybody wants to conform so they get that same compliment.
Correct.
Do the same thing with parents, right? Like, think of what you can do. Like, April, thank you for sending me all those photos for banquet. That, like, say it in front of everybody. Like, that was super helpful. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
If anybody else has banquet photos, I would gladly take them.
Our video is going to be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything you can do. And you know what? If you're like, oh, my parents will think they're brown nosing, like, who cares? I want everybody to be that great. So acknowledge great behavior.
Yep.
How about that one?
Yeah, we got to figure out how your staff feel appreciated and make it happen. We actually, when they are hired on, our staff goes through kind of like a system. We have a system built for onboarding, but one of them is writing down all of your favorites. And we're like, favorite candy bar, favorite movie, there's your favorite drink, everything. Mm-hmm. And so we know what their favorites are, and then we purposely reach out and do that every so often.
Yes. One of these weeks, we're going to show the staff portal during a fireside chat.
Okay.
We'll go over some staff onboarding stuff in a future week.
I was going to say that, but I was like, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys thought that that handbook was awesome, the staff portal is
even cooler.
It's the bomb.
Yes.
How's the kids say that? It's fire.
Fire. Please don't say the bomb because they'll think you're super uncool.
That is so old. It's fire.
Our foreign exchange students don't call us like mom and dad or Danielle and Justin anymore. They call us bruh.
Bruh. What happened?
They didn't even know what bruh meant
anymore.
When they moved here.
They can barely speak English, but they're calling us bruh.
Literally, I walked in yesterday and Gigi's like, hey, bruh.
Yo, bruh.
I was like, you're Italian. You don't even know what that means.
You're not allowed to say that. That's American only.
Anyway. So, guys, there is a different level of appreciation that happens for each of your staff because they all have their different love languages. There's literally a book out there, Love Languages for Employees. Read it, read the regular love languages, and you're smart enough, you can apply it to what it means, not, husband and wife, but like to your staff. But if I give Melanie a gift, she's going to feel so much more appreciated than if I, just said, hey, Mel, that's really good. Thank you. She'll feel appreciated, but she's a gift person.
Yep.
She will put that on her desk and it will sit there forever and ever and ever, even though her desk is cluttery that way. Right? Because it's important to her.
Morgan said, I love doing that. She's talking about the, appreciating your staff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tina says, I need that in my life too.
Yeah.
And Lauren Erickson is watching. Hello.
Oh, hi, Lauren. Hello. I'm practicing. So definitely show gratitude to those who helped you throughout the season. That was number 3. Real quick recap for those who are just hopping on. We do have a number 4, but number 1 was stop focusing on the negative people or those who are not returning and start focusing on the people who are.
Yes.
Number 2, focus on the processes and systems that need to be created to improve your season next year.
And that handbook was the example we gave that we're really been working on this year. Yep.
That's right. Number 3, have we been working on it, Justin?
I threw
Have we?
Yeah.
Or is this the first time you've seen it?
No, I've heard of it. You told me about it, and I was like, that's a great idea.
And I asked him earlier, do you want to look at it? And he's like, I want to go to the gym and work out. I'm so tired.
You told me it was like 64 pages or something.
I know, but I'm only 20 pages in.
Okay.
Number 3, begin showing gratitude for those who have helped you throughout the season.
Yes, gratitude.
And number 4, you'll never believe a Johnston saying this. Stop conforming to the industry standard.
Oh, man.
Just stop.
Yeah, don't do it.
Okay? Do things your way. I was talking to Charlotte. Charlotte lives in the UK, and I was talking to her this morning on a coaching call, and she said, yeah, we don't re-enroll kids they don't have to sign a new agreement. They don't have to sign a new contract.
Listen to this.
They just stay enrolled. And she goes, I know that's not normal in the States.
Boom.
I love when they call us the States.
Blow up.
But yeah, I don't just require them to re-sign a new contract every year.
Who came up with that idea?
Nobody in this industry.
Let's have to resell them every year on the same thing.
So
stop it.
I've been saying this for a couple years. Why are we giving them an end date? Why would I ever give somebody an end date if I want them to return? Yeah. So I'm not going to do it anymore. This year, we already got to the point where we're like, listen, guys, if you've read the packet, you know you want to re-enroll and you just don't want to fill out the paperwork, totally cool. Let me know and I'll just get you re-enrolled. And we've had a handful of people who are just like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Yep, get us re-enrolled. I'm seriously considering not even doing the whole, like, here's your trial packet, but here are the list of fees for next year. If you're good, comment good below or whatever.
Serious?
Yeah.
Well, you're seriously contemplating.
I'm just going to have
real serious about it. Seriously, let's do this. I'm not kidding though. Let's do this because why? I'm
just going to set up like, here's the week of team placements. I don't need you to tell me if you're returning or not. I'm just going to assume you're returning unless you tell me you're not. This is the date by which to let us know you're not returning. Otherwise, you're auto-enrolled for next season. Boom. I have disrupted the industry standard.
Let's start a trend.
I probably just lost 4 viewers. They're like, you're nuts.
Oh, those people are crazy.
Yep. I don't know how it would work. Whoever just,
Tina's
Morgan.
laughing about it.
I don't know how it would work, but I'm going to figure it out. And now I know I have 11 months to do so.
Hey, there's other people doing it already, so.
Yeah. I know. I'm going to pick Charlotte's brain and be like, so tell me how this works.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Amazon, auto repurchasing. Absolutely, Curtis. And again, why are we asking people to quit? Yeah. There will just be a team placement day. You're auto enrolled. This is team placement week, and you will get your new team placement the following week. Boom. Done. Done.
Sounds so easy.
My fees don't change that much every year, right? They may go up, but so does tuition, and we don't ask our families in the gym when tuition goes up, like, do you want to re-enroll? No, it's here's the new tuition. Let us know if you have any questions. So there you go. Yeah. The second thing is...
Go ahead. Let's do this.
When it comes to the industry standard, not everything has to be about the win, right? I saw on a post this week on Crazy Moms of Cheer, because I'm a crazy mom and I'm in cheer.
You love that.
I do, because it gives me blog content. I see a lot of stuff that owners are doing wrong. Guys, sometimes the moms are not the crazy ones. And I recognize that.
Oh, this is a good one.
So I saw in there that a mom said, hey, I don't know what I should do here. We're at a gym that wins all the time. My daughter really wants to go to this other gym where she enjoys it more. She has more friends there, etc. So why do we care about the win so much? Like, you can be on a baseball team that loses all the time and it's the greatest thing you've ever done. When I was in middle school, like, I thought we were pretty good, but we were super, super small volleyball, like super small school compared to every other school in the district. We lost volleyball all the time. It was a great season. Every year I had a great season because it was fun. I learned new things. Like, you had a chance of winning. You didn't, but you had a chance at it. Like, but you knew you were getting better every year. So, like, just because you're like, I'm so tired of hearing people say, why bother going to Summit unless you have a chance of winning? Like, I totally disagree with the mentality. You should go for the experience, right? And if
I mean, I do understand some people are like, why?
No, I mean,
if you're going to go, why would you not want to go and try to win? I mean, I understand.
Because the day we didn't advance to finals was sort of the most fun day we were there.
I gotta admit, we do have some.
Like, we don't advance to finals.
We're not totally bummed when we don't advance, but at the same time,
we're like, cool, let's go to Gatorland.
I mean, I understand that, but at what cost do you get to that point? And is it the cost of a lot of your parents being burnt because you're like, we're going to do another practice, and then we're going to practice before we practice, and then we're going to think about practicing before we do the practice. It's just like,
in 2015,
at what time do you have fun?
In 2015, we had a youth 2 and a junior 3 go to D1 Summit. We had 2 locations at the time, so we had to be D1. We honestly had like 75 all-star kids. It was total crap that we were D1, but it's the way it was back then. And so we took those kids. We were practicing. We went from practicing, I think, twice a week for like an hour and a half to 6 hours a week, plus tumbling class, plus we were calling them in for stunt privates, plus we were doing upgrades. Mm-hmm. I have never had worse retention than I did that year. We actually did pretty well at D1 Summit. But for a super small program out of the middle of Missouri, I've never had worse retention than I did that season. It burned my kids out. kids who loved cheerleading with their heart and soul didn't even want to come back because they were like, I'm just so tired of cheering. Like, I want to do something else. I want to go play with my friends, be a kid, jump on a trampoline, anything else.
Anything.
Do not burn out your kids so bad and your parents so badly that they don't want to cheer next year.
Yep. We have a few comments. Morgan said, I started doing this with my trials. I started saying your first month is 29. Then after that, it's 59.
So an auto enrollment on
it's just
trials.
An auto.
Yep. I've told quite a few Academy members, if you guys are looking at that, do that. We can talk about that if your conversion rates are really, really good.
True.
Yep.
Tracy says, so we do that. We say we are a year-round program. When we were done with the season, we started preseason training. We dine with training, or when done with training, we start and form our teams. Unless they offer 30-day notice, they are enrolled. Then we update fees and such. Melissa's
I love
watching.
it, Tracy. I'm going to pick your brain on that in a couple months.
Yes.
Love it.
See, this is what I love about this stuff, though. We just, you hear about things and you're like, hey, how do you do it? And then once we master it, we'll put it out there and just say, hey, this is what we've been doing. This is how it works, and it's working well.
I think I'm going to call it off-season training, too, instead of preseason, because that indicates that you've just started a new season. I think it's just going to be like baseball. If you're in year-round competitive baseball, you're in off-season or in the season.
Melissa's watching. Melissa Benefield. Hello. And then Morgan said, my coaches love extra practices. I have to say, ladies, no.
Morgan, tell them they can recruit all the athletes they want and they can just have team practices, and it will burn them out so much that they do not want a single extra practice. I hate extra practices. I hate them with everything in me, not because we don't need them, just because it is one more thing to add to your plate. So if you can get them to the mode where they're like, I'm kind of at my max on coaching right now, because I have enough kids and enough teams, then maybe they won't love extra practices so much.
Tracy said, I love off-season training.
Me too, actually. I love it.
And Melissa says hello.
Hello. Yeah, guys, if you just love coaching kids and coaching them and teaching them cheerleading and teaching them tumbling, off-season training is so much fun. Like, I love summer training. Sometimes I want to be at home in the pool instead, but for the most part, if I could have the most fun at any practice, it's the summer practices. I love them.
Well, you know what? What is it? What's different about it? The stress.
Yeah.
There's less stress, right?
To be honest, just like kids get tired of their routine, like I get kind of tired of a routine. I'm like, okay, I've seen this 7,000 times. I know when you're going to fall, if you're going to fall. I can watch you do that hurdle, and I know if you're going to hit that pass, like throw the pass or not. I know everything about it, that it feels a little bit freeing to have those summer practices that you're like, you know what? Like, we've got a plan, but if we want to spend a little extra time working on the stunt sequence today, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I asked because I don't know.
I tried to get Justin to coach a tiny team once. I actually think they would love him. And you would love them for like 4 or 5 practices.
I would, and then I'd be like, okay, gotta go. It's like,
I think you would do better with tinies than high school kids.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Ashley said, this is my first year doing off-season training, and we have so many kids signed up for next season already.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I love that.
And Morgan said, yes.
Yes. So, guys, the big thing here, just don't feel like you have to conform to the industry standard. I was talking to one of our academy clients who's near Houston about a year ago, and she's like, what do you mean you do full season novice? I'm like, yeah, they just run all year. Like, they just don't stop. Like, they end in March and they start back up again the next week in March, and we go all year. And she's like, well, I've never heard of that. I've only heard of half season. I'm like, I've got that too. Like, you can do whatever you want to do, and nobody says you can do, you can't. So do what works for your gym.
It's interesting, but we are creatures of habit. And sometimes our habits are not the best. So if you notice something that you're like, I wonder if we could do this, you probably can. It's probably just, a slight tweak or something like that. Or ask somebody else about it. Be like, hey, I have this crazy idea. If you ask us, we'll probably be like, dude, that's a great idea. How did you come up with that? Or I'll be like,
we've already tried that crazy idea. Here's what didn't work for us, or did work.
Yeah, but it may work for you. I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Guys, okay, so the next Fireside Chat, here's the deal.
Yes.
We are going to be speaking specifically to gym owners who have only been around for a year or two. However, those of you who've been around forever, we want you on here because I think it is so important that they hear from those of us who have been through the trenches and have made the mistakes and have learned our lessons. I think it's important for them to hear from us because do you know who they're hearing from? They're hearing from every gym owner out there that says, don't open a gym. And I hate that answer. You probably saw my 7 billion word blog about it this week. But we're going to speak specifically to those people who've only been in this for a couple of years. And those of you who've done this forever, we want you on to help us because this is not just the Johnstons teaching them anything about cheer. We want your words as well.
Yes.
Cool.
There's a lot of brand new gyms that are opening up all around.
Awesome.
And honestly, we need them. We need people out there because it builds the industry. It builds all of it.
Well, here's what it does too. There's some really tired, burnt out gym owners that should not own gyms anymore. And when new gyms open up, it helps them realize that they probably need to be not there anymore.
There's a reason that somebody sees an opportunity sometimes to open up another gym. And it's probably because somebody has gotten set in their ways, doesn't want to change. And they're like, bye, Felicia. If you don't like my gym, bye. You know, that kind of stuff. And it's like half the gym leaves, you know, because a new gym opens up.
Yeah. So, you know what? Those new gyms need to open up because I can tell you we are better when we have a competitor, right? When we have somebody who is like, oh man, we better put this out before they do. Or you know what? They might have the next great idea. We better stay on top of our stuff.
Yeah.
We better make sure we are educating the parents and providing the best customer service because they have another option. We are better when that is the case. So, you know, these new gym owners need to be amazing because we need to push some people out who probably are in the sport for the wrong reasons or are no longer really providing all that great of customer service.
And to be honest, does this new, you know, packet that we just built, is it better for us or is it better for the client? It's actually better for both.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say also.
No,
us.
but it is. It's better for both. And so at the end of the day, I mean, if you can constantly improve, but that competition does that to you.
Here's what I'm not going to do.
Create your creative.
Hey, Sheila, please refer back to page 23. That's what I'm not going to do. But I am going to give people the chance to read it. I was thinking, I literally was using my little notepad the other day, and I was like, I think I'm going to put like an index in the back. Like, sprain, go to page 4. Read about injury. Like, I'm really thinking about doing something like that so that it's super easy and obvious for people who are looking up something to like go find it. Go find the answer. And if they don't, I'm still going to be nice to them and be like, yeah, so here's the policy. And here's what I'm probably going to do. I'm going to open up the book and use the graphic in there to be like, yeah, so you would start here and then you would go to this and da-da-da.
And by the way, this is your packet. Here you go.
It's going to take me 5 years to train them how to do that. And that's okay. But at least I'll have the visual aid and I'll teach them to start going to the packet first.
And the cool part about stuff like that is you only have to build it usually one time.
That's what I told Justin.
You do the work one time, and then you have it, and then after that, you can just mod it a little bit here and there as time goes on. And so,
I'm kind of a perfectionist. So I was like 2.5 hours into this today, and I was like, Justin, this is taking forever. But
she came out. I'm so excited about it, though. This is going to be so awesome.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get me super excited like that these days.
Okay, Tina said. Actually, Morgan said yes. Oh, we got that one. We have Justin Lee is watching.
Hello.
Legacy Rebel cheer.
Emily.
Emily. Oh, yeah. I don't know why it comes up with just the gym name on that one.
Because their gym is the one in the group.
Oh, yeah. Tina said, I have a new gym. Some of my coaches don't have great customer service. They say we are not like a gym family that I care about building my brand. They say we are not like a gym family that I care about building my brand more. I wish I could train them better.
You can change that mentality. I was telling somebody the other day, Tina, that there are some growing years that really suck. Like, honestly, there are some growing years where you feel like you cannot show your gym parents who you really are because you have to protect yourself a little bit. You have to kind of put up those guards. You won't be friends with anybody. We have talked about this a lot, actually. Yeah, Shelly and I have talked about this. And I'm like, in those years, like, I was like, I'm not friends with anybody in the gym. Like, I won't, whatever.
You got to really put up a guard,
because I felt like that was everyone in the gym. Over time, you start attracting. You do the right thing always.
Yep.
You will attract your tribe. So over time, you will attract the people that are right for your gym, and the others will kind of weed themselves out, but you will always have to do the right thing to find the right people. So if they're saying you care more about your brand, some other gym owner I was talking about put out her fees for an end of season event and they called her money hungry. Like, I've been called both of those, right? It's okay. You will attract your tribe. You just always do the right thing. Do your best to educate people. Be kind, be patient, and things do get better. It helps when you can be like, you know what? I've done this for 12 years. We've experienced this. This is why I do it this way. And 99% of the time these days, parents are like, okay, I understand.
No, you're not callous when you say it and rude. You're just.
No, I always hear them out.
It's factual though. And it's not like in your face, like, I've been here for 12 years doing this. This is the way it's done. No, it's like, hey, you know, we've been doing this for 12 years and this is why we do it this way now. It's more factual and it's not rude. You know?
But I also tell them, but I'm always open to new ideas because the way we're doing it may not be the best way.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm super honest with them about that, but give me a better way to do it then.
We're always looking to improve. If we can improve and make it better, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, Caitlin Hill says absolutely about the index. Lauren says an hour late, but I'm here. I forgot.
No problem. Okay, guys. So like I said, next week we'll be talking to brand new gym owners, but definitely join us.
I thought somebody just said they were 6 days old.
Yeah. Oh, that was Angie. I saw it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talked to Jameson last week.
Yeah.
Angie, 6-day-old gym owner.
What?
That's awesome. Congratulations. Super exciting.
What? I thought that was happening at the end of the month or something, or soon, or something like that.
She's
okay.
6 days old.
Wow.
Hey, to be honest,
so we've got some new gym owners out there for sure.
Give it 2 weeks. You will no longer be the newbie.
That's right.
Somebody else will be newer. Guys, I do need to just let you know one final time, you have got to make it to Dallas. It is going to be so great. There's going to be, if you're a new gym owner, we're going to have 101 courses. Hey, we open May 1st. There is a negative gym, like they're negative 5 weeks old. They will be born in 5 weeks.
Yes.
That's awesome. So guys, if you haven't registered for Dallas already, do not delay on this. It is literally the easiest registration you can put through. It takes no time. Go to ngconferences.com. You can only get the room rates. I think they're about $150. You can only get them for about another 5-6 weeks. And then I promise you, once they expire, Shelly cannot get more because that room block has already filled up twice, and she's had to call and get new reservations, which is totally fine. We're happy to do that.
Yeah.
But you don't want to miss that and then not be able to get a good room.
Yeah, you'll have to like room down the road or something and walk over or something.
It's twice as much if you want to stay in my room. I got a business going. So, did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
You and I are sleeping on the floor. We're going to sell our beds.
Super awkward.
So definitely make sure you get registered for Dallas. The schedule will be out. I think it's April 15th is maybe April 1st. I think it's April 15th.
I thought it was 15th. Yeah.
Yep. Tax day. The class schedule will be out so you can see exactly who is teaching what. But here's the thing. Trust me, you don't need it. You can literally go back, just search in the group, and you can see what Vegas was like just to get an indication of what kind of classes we offer. They're really so great for everybody who's owned a gym. I mean, you know, we've had people there. Cindy, she's owned a gym for like 30 years.
Yep.
I don't mean to date her like that, but
we've got people that have owned gym for a long time.
And they still come to conferences and say they're still learning new things.
Oh, yeah.
So whether you've owned a gym for -5 weeks or for 30 years, there's always opportunity to learn.
Yeah, and we share a lot of stuff right here on Fireside Chat, but there's a lot more, and it goes into detail at the conference, so it's great stuff.
Yeah, this is the tip of the iceberg, guys. Conference is the opportunity to like really get to know other gym owners too, because we're not really that smart compared to a whole bunch of people out there. There's a lot of people that are super smart. Justin doesn't even listen.
Yeah, I try to just hang out with smart people because I feel smarter. But it makes you smarter. You don't want to be the big fish in your little pond. That's not the place to grow. So throw yourself out there into a bigger pond. Yeah. And you know, you're talking about tip of the iceberg. Be the Titanic and run right into that.
Are you kidding me?
Just run right into it.
No. Too soon.
Too soon. That was that was bad.
What was that, like 1912, 1914?
Yes. We are the iceberg, so just head
in seventh
towards,
grade, I could have told you the
us.
exact date because
Yes.
I watched the movie 7 times in the movie theater. But
Yes.
okay. So make sure you head over to ngconferences.com, get registered. It's going to be amazing. This is like, so far, I think the nicest hotel and the nicest setup that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have things separated as much. Like it's pretty neat. We have,
but I think there's 4 different tracks.
There's 4 different tracks, but we have all the vendors all in the same main room. So it's huge, like biggest rooms we've been in. So yeah, yes. I'm excited.
Yeah, April said good things. The value of making friends with like minds. We learn a lot from each other as well.
Networking is huge.
Well, also,
I'm glad she said something about that because that is like one of the biggest things. When you're hanging around with a bunch of people that are like doing the same things that you're trying to do or are a step ahead of you, it is so awesome to be like, hey, can you tell me how you did that? Because I've been trying to fix that. Really
quick, you guys, I'm just going to tell you, like, let me give you like a super quick list of some of the ones that I know are absolutely happening, like the classes.
You're getting detailed already.
I know, because I wish that schedule was out already, but Shelly's got to go take a cruise, go on vacation.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. I'm so jealous. We've been home from Mexico for like 5 minutes and I'm jealous.
I know. Must be nice.
Must be nice. Wish I could do that. Okay, here's some that we have.
Morgan says, I've made so many friends at Next Gen conferences. Yes. You know, the neat thing, too, is going to competitions now, and we're running into lots of people that are in Next Gen or have been watching and stuff, and so it's so cool.
So these are not like the titles, but the topics for the classes. How to add, okay, so let's talk skills for your coaches. How to add transitions and choreography fluff. This is designed for those who do in-house choreography, but like, hello, what happens when you have a kid who quits mid-season, a kid who moves and into your area, you want to add them. You've got to get good at transitions and choreography fluff so that you can do your own upgrades throughout the season and don't have to wait for somebody to show up at your gym and do that.
Yes.
One of my requests for classes, a class on how to get specific drivers. Like, what exactly does body control mean in tumbling? What are they looking for with that, with landings, with approach, with stuff like that? Pyramids, anything with rec classes. We're definitely going to have stuff about rec classes and being effective in those. Yep. How to get your jump drivers and get the highest possible scores on jumps. We've been getting 1.8s and 1.9s all year. And not that picture that was posted today. If somebody could help my youth 2 team, that would be great. But
so this is coach's track.
Yep, that's the coach's track.
Yep.
And then working with tinies and minis. We've got some really great people who can teach on working with tinies and minis. I think Mel might be teaching that class.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the queen of tinies and minis. And if you guys didn't see that about Mel this week, I talked to a gym owner last week who told me Mel was her favorite speaker in Louisville. And I was like, I was the only other speaker in Louisville. So it was super funny.
Yeah, that was funny, actually.
For owners, we're going to talk about the trial funnel. How do you take them from, just randomly seeing your post on the internet to converting, being a regular member? We're going to talk about Gen Z staffing, junior coaches program, effective delegation, birthday parties.
That's a big one.
We are like killing birthday parties this year. Yeah. And even with opening more slots, we've got most of our slots are full for the whole year so far.
I was just talking to somebody today about birthday parties. And like, we do some.
Yeah. Maximizing your space. We're doing a 2-part marketing class on social media reviews, live social media reviews, and then content planning for the month. Managers, effective leadership for managers. How do you manage your peers? So like Lexi and Mel live together and they hang out.
Who's teaching some of these?
Well, I think Mel's doing that one.
Yeah, our managers are actually teaching. Mm-hmm. So they'll be teaching managers.
Mel's been at our gym for 9 years. She's been the manager for 8 of those. She lives with one of our other staff. They're roommates, and Patrick hangs out with them all the time. And guess what? Mel's the boss. And if something happens and she has to do a write-up on one of them, she still has to go home at the end of the night. So what's it like to manage your peers? Key metrics that your manager should know, the numbers that they have to know to help you run the gym. How to have crucial conversations so that you don't have to be the one constantly dealing with parent drama. You can get your directors and managers to professionally manage situations in your absence.
Yep.
Managing your time better, how to prioritize as a manager or director, how to delegate to others, we've got some really good stuff, guys. And then when you talk about Academy, we've got some workshops for you guys.
Yep.
How to, help your staff maintain better accountability. It's going to be great.
It's a lot. That's
Yes.
going to be a lot. But
yes.
the neat thing is, what we try to do at these conferences, though, is make it to where you can take this stuff, immediately bring it home, and implement it. Put it in place. Here's how to do it. Here's how to put it in place. So it's not something where you're like, I have all this great information. I don't even know where to start. What do I do?
A lot of our classes give you either digital or paper worksheets, just like this. On mine, I usually have a self-evaluation at the top, places to take notes, and then guess what? It says action items. And when you leave, you better have some stuff filled out on that, because
will ask you.
Yeah.
What are some of your action items?
The last minute or two of the class, I always do that. And I call people out. You don't raise your hand. I call on you.
You just made about half of them. They're like, oh, I'm not.
They're like,
for that.
I'm not going to your class.
I'm going to sit in the back.
Like in Louisville, there were just not that many people, so everybody got called on once.
Oh yeah, it was it was a very cozy little group.
Mm-hmm. It was great. Yeah. So,
all right,
guys. Well, we look forward to having you in Dallas. We will see you guys then, and then we'll also see you guys next Friday at 9 p.m. for Fireside Chat with the Johnstons.
Friday?
No.
You said Friday.
Monday.
You did.
I'm sorry. Fireside Chat with the Johnstons.
On Monday. Yeah, it's a Monday night. Yeah.
They're dangerous, guys. I'm just kidding. Okay, we'll see you guys then.
All right. Ciao.
That's Italian.